We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Welcome to the DotCast from NineDots. NineDots is the online learning community for wedding photographers. You can become a member and find out about our annual conference, the NineDots Gathering, at nine-dots.co.
Welcome back to the DotCast. We're still calling it that. We're still calling it the DotCast.
The jury's still out.
We're going with it. Hey, Andy Gaines. Hey, Rahul Kona.
Hey, Adam Johnson.
Hey, Adam Johnson and Andy Gaines.
Hey, Rahul.
Nice to hear your voices. How was your Christmas, Rahul?
Mine is amazing. I got this new microphone and that sounds so good now. Pretty happy with it.
I'm glad that Santa, you've always been a good boy this year, Rahul.
I've been very good.
How's your Christmas, AJ?
It's great, thanks, dude. It's great. It's just a classic Christmas at home.
Yeah,
Christmas at home. Took a few pictures. And is that what we're going to be talking about today? Just taking pictures that aren't of people getting married.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Did you take any photos, Andy Gaines?
My section's going to be short. The answer is I don't take any pictures of people who aren't getting married, so I'm out.
Never.
That's it.
Never.
Yeah, but you take photos of your kids. I've seen loads of photos of your kids, so like...
I used to, but this year's been atrocious, like in terms of the amount of pictures I've made. So probably... I have like I've got like a folder of like for raw files, so I have like personal raw files for the year. I think this year there's about 50 in it. Like that's it. And that's pretty much like unculled. That's all of them.
Why that is though? Do you think it's good? But is it anything to do with the kids getting older?
I think it's just totally over the novelty of parenthood and totally bored with my own family. No, not really.
Amazing.
I'm sure. Hopefully they won't be listening. No, I don't know. I mean, it's just hard, isn't it, to pick up the camera when you're not at a wedding, and it's so important to do it, but it's so hard to find the time and the inclination to do so. Like, what about you, Rahul? Have you been taking many pictures of your kiddies this year and family or anything?
Well, I have this year. I think it's a bit of a different year, maybe to like next year or the year after. In the sense of that, like I've been wanting to document a lot of Isla, who's just was born in January. But she's had way less photos than Amelia did when she was born, if that makes sense. Like, because Amelia had all the attention with the camera, but this one's had nothing. So I've had to force myself to make her have some sort of, basically make some photos so she can have an album at the end of the year.
So when she gets older and she looks back, she's like, why did you like the first one more than me?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But no, I've taken photos. Like, I mean, I take my camera to every single family event. And I take some photos and then put the camera down, and then the rest of the night I just chill out, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
You two don't do any other work other than weddings, right? In terms of like getting that, like doing the photography thing outside of weddings. You do a bit of commercial work, right, Rahul, occasionally?
Yeah, I do. I do some corporate lifestyle kind of work, but
you don't know, do you?
But mate, it's very like rare. So it's basically weddings, or pick the camera up and attempt to take some photos of the kids. And that's it.
Yeah. I don't. I literally shoot weddings and that's it. But Rahul, do you use the same camera? Do you use the same camera for like your personal life that you use for your weddings?
A year ago, I didn't. I used to use the Olympus, and my Mark IV was the Canon Mark IV or whatever, 5D Mark IV was the wedding camera. But now, yeah, I use the same camera, same lens, 35mm Sony A7 III, done. That's it.
Yeah,
done.
It's good because the Sonys are tidgy though, aren't they, compared to
exactly. And I just have I have 2 SD cards because obviously it's dual slot. So I have 2 SDs that are marked with like a little sticker just for family photos, and that's it. So don't touch those.
Just pop those in. Just pop those in outside of weddings. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Because otherwise it'll be confusing. Like I mix my wedding photos with my family photos or whatever. So these ones are purely for family. So
yeah, that's important. I was thinking about this recently because I same as you, Andy. Like I went to my like raw file folder for the year of personal pictures, and it was basically just the one holiday we had in August, and then a few pictures from like April, and a couple.
And then in the holiday of August, it's just in the one day that I took the camera out while I was on holiday.
Exactly. No, I did make an effort. I always make an effort on holiday. It's I don't know. but I just find it really hard to do what Rahul does, because I see a lot of your stuff, especially on Instagram, Rahul, where it's just like generally just day-to-day pictures of your kids, or I know you took a couple of your dad earlier in the year as well, and just for me, like, I'm the biggest culprit of just when I get back from a wedding, I just put my camera bag away and it just stays away until the next time I need it for a wedding. So, but I reckon I think the biggest key to taking more pictures of life is just not doing that and just having the camera out and about. And like, I know, Andy, you used to use the Ricoh GR1, which is tiny, a properly pocket-sized camera.
Yeah, it was awesome. I love that camera. In fact, to be fair, I was just thinking, when I had that camera, I took loads and loads of loads more family stuff, but then I drowned it in the Mediterranean when we shot a wedding in Santorini and took the kids, and the Ricoh GR and the Ricoh drowned.
Oh,
so
bad times.
Since then, so now I just find I use my phone, like, and I think I've printed stuff off the phone, like up to kind of like 10-inch, 12-inch size, and it looks great. So I'm just not that. It's ironic though. I'm really not that fussed about the quality of the pictures that I take of my kids and my family, in terms of the very things that we really sweat over professionally. When you're culling and when you're taking pictures and sharpness and all that kind of the quality of the image and all that kind of stuff. It's interesting that when it comes to just taking pictures of kids, if I get a nice picture on my phone, I'm like, sweet. I'm happy with it, and which is probably a lesson to be learned there.
I really want to interject. In a sense, I hate camera phone photos because there's no depth, man. Like, I love the feel from the SLR, DSLR, mirrorless, whatever it is. Like, it's just not the same. Like, for me, like, a camera phone photo is just it's rubbish.
Like, you mean like depth of field and like the lens, like low apertures?
Yeah, just the quality of it. Like, I know they're so good, and like I like and I use my camera phone all the time as well. Don't get me wrong, yeah. And for me, that's more like just reminding me of the memories of how my kids were. But when I want to really take a good photo, I won't pick up my iPhone and take a photo. I need my camera. If that makes sense.
Same for me.
Like, otherwise it's just rubbish. Like, it's
I never take pictures on my phone. The only time I take pictures on my phone is when I go somewhere that doesn't allow, like, or it's not ideal to bring a camera, like when I go to the football or something and you're not allowed to bring a bag and all that. I take a couple of pics on my phone then, but I nearly always just bin them. Like, I'm surprised like I know you, like, because you've got quite a lot of pictures printed up around your house as well, Andy. So are they all, is any of any of those phone pictures?
Yeah, there's a couple. Not really big. So all the big ones were, to be fair, have been shot on DSLRs in the past, or the Ricoh. But no, there's a couple that are phone pictures. I don't know. I find that, a bit like you were saying before, like I'll take loads more pictures. I just have to have the camera out all the time.
Yeah,
just has to be sitting there on the side, and when it's sitting on the side, I'll generally pick it up and make pictures. But that
is exactly why, not to big up Sony or anything, like, but in the sense that when I switch to Sony, like, it's so small, like, that camera is always out in my living room. So if Isla is doing something or Amelia is doing something, I can take photos straight away. Like, with the SLR or the Canons, it was really hard because it was just like such a big camera. But like this one, it just sits there. Like, that's why I love the Olympus, the EM5 Mark II. Like, it was so good. Just literally can pick it up, start shooting, or press record, and it would just focus, face focus or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Do its thing, and boom, done.
Yeah.
I'll get some nice footage. And what it gave me was I was happy with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question, yeah. So when you're taking these photos and, like, say it's Christmas Day, when it was Christmas Day or Boxing Day or whatever, it's a big day, and like you like, how do you know when you're like shooting some photos or whether you're interacting with your kids? Because obviously you don't want to like take photos and take away from the moments that you're having with the kids or your family or your wives or whatever.
Dude. But that's like, the problem I have though.
But where's the balance? Exactly. So where's the balance? Like, so what do you do? Tommy, like, how many photos do you take over Christmas and Boxing Day?
None. Like 5, 6, maybe. Like, but that's the problem. Like, I find that I either have to get into the photography taker zone, like where I am the photographer, like I am at a wedding, and then it just becomes all consuming, and then I can't really get out of that. So I find that I just never want to be good. I find it really hard to just kind of nip in and take a picture, because once you start going down that, it's even worse at like bigger family stuff, like, so we're going to my folks in a couple of days, my sister's going to be there and new babies, and there's going to be maybe 10 people. And it's even worse then, because like, it's the moment you're going with the camera. I always hate that, because it's like, oh, you know what I mean? I just want to go and be a human rather than be a photographer.
Plus, everyone, there'll be that moment when everyone goes, oh, Andy's got his camera. Right, let's get everyone together for a group photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll just be expected to do it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I kind of struggle with it.
You better make it good, though, dude. You better make it good.
Yeah. Exactly. But
at the same time, like, I do wish I was taking more pictures. So I'm not really sure. Yeah. Not really sure what lesson I can teach anybody other than just don't do what Andy Gaines is doing with regards to this subject.
But you make good photos of your kids. So, and Adam takes amazing photos of his kids. Like, how do you do it? Like, how do you balance the good photo taking between good photo taking and enjoying your holidays, being a present or whatever it is. Yeah, being present. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, dude. I mean, I think it's a lot easier now. My kids are older, because they tend to just do their own thing a lot of the time, and also they interact with each other and. But I've always had this thing, and I noticed this year really with my kids. Like, whenever I take pictures of them, I just take whatever I can get from them. Really, like I know, and yeah, I do. I want to take good quality pictures, but I don't. I never tell them what to do. I never like set them up or tell them like I want you to do this or look at the camera or whatever it might be. I just take pictures, and I think the key to it, and this is what I've been thinking about a lot lately, because I've not got that many pictures this year, which is disappointing. I think the key to it is just having your camera out and available to hand, and little things, like you're saying about having a memory card that is just for home photos. So when you get home, when
you pick the camera up, you can take pictures. It's not even like, oh, what's on the memory card? You know?
We had a holiday maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I deleted all the pictures. Like I took some really great pictures on that holiday. I was well happy with them. And then I used to do this thing where I'd leave all the pictures to one side until December, and I'd try and get them all edited just before Christmas. And I just couldn't find the pictures from that holiday, and I searched everywhere, high and low, on my hard drives, on all my memory cards, and I just deleted the pictures from that holiday.
Dude, that was when we went to Spain.
Yeah, deleted that one as well. That was a different one.
You massive loser.
No, not a very responsible photographer, are you?
Yeah, no, but
I'm going to be honest. That was the greatest. That was the greatest weekend of my life.
Yeah,
and I entrusted you to capture it. An award-winning photographer.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. But yeah, the same with that holiday with the kids, which was probably around about the same time, and it's since then that I've been doing the same that Rahul's saying. Is I've got a memory card that's just set aside now, and it's just my home pictures memory card. So I honestly think the key to taking pictures of your life is just not sticking your camera bag in the corner when you get home from a wedding or wherever you put it. If the camera's out, I will nearly always take pictures. If I've got my camera with me, I'll nearly always take pictures. It's the classic thing as well. If I go somewhere without my camera because I've thought that day, I can't be bothered, I'll always wish I had it with me. But if I take it with me, I'll always find it a bit of like a ball and chain. I'll always feel like, maybe I should. Oh, I don't really want to, but like maybe I should take a picture.
Just before we move on from that previous thing, that was the same holiday as well when you did take a lot of footage and photography video on your phone and crushed your phone in the boot of the car. You lost all the phone pictures as well.
Very true. Only because you kept saying to me, dude,
absolute disaster.
Take a picture of me driving this convertible Audi and send it to my mum. Like, it was not the coolest.
I just want to know. Excuse me, guys. I just want to know. Why was I not invited on this holiday?
You were. You just chose not to come. It was Seville. It was when we went to Seville. Like, we were all going to go.
Seville. Yeah. Wait, when were families?
It wasn't a holiday.
No, it was just me and Andy.
AJ was speaking at the conference.
Yeah. Okay.
I was his chaperone and chauffeur.
And he just wanted photos and videos for his mum. There's another question, though. And we talked about this. Lanny Mann mentioned this when we the gathering this year. Like, do you think? Like, I don't think about this kind of photography as being practice. It's just, for me, it's just taking pictures of my kids. I'm one of these. My general view on like practicing photography is that I don't do a lot of it. I don't really see myself as always practicing photography, but I liked Lanny's view on it, which was that you're always practicing because your eyes are always seeing things and you're always like, oh, there's some nice light. Oh, there's a good composition. So
yeah, 100%. And I think when you're taking pictures, I think you're practicing without even trying to practice. You know what I mean? I think there are so few like basic rules in photography. I think, you know, that you only need to be ever thinking of one of them or two of them, you know, with light or composition or moments or whatever it is, that you only need to have one of them vaguely in the back of your mind while you're making pictures to be practicing that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Whether
I mean,
it's like,
my point is that you don't even need to have your camera in your hand. You'll be
no,
walking.
you don't. No, for sure. Yeah.
But you'll be walking down the street and you'll see like some cool colors that work well together, or you'll see an interesting composition, or you'll see a bit of light, or whatever it might be, and you'll be in your head. You'll be making pictures, even though you're not making those pictures with a camera. So, I guess my point is, like, make pictures for the sake of making pictures, not for the sake of practicing for weddings.
Yeah, 100%.
I practice at weddings. Like, I make the photos at weddings, but like my true photo making is actually at home and like with my kids.
Well,
like,
the thing is as well, because
I just keep practicing like pre-shoots, pre-wedding shoots. This is a whole different conversation now, but they are my practice grounds. Doesn't make sense, like. Yeah. But that's how I practice my light composition, some moments or whatever. But when it comes to my kids, like, I feel like I'm more honing in rather than practicing. But at weddings, I will practice more and I'll play more. With my kids, I don't really play. I'm just like, just trying to get what. I take 1,000 photos. I just want one good photo, please. I just want one. They're both smiling and happy with each other and not trying to fight each other. That's all I want. Like, in good light and moments and composition.
It's true.
That's it. I mean,
go on.
I'm saying those like those kind of pictures you make in your mind, you know, when you're practicing are all well and good, but it's not really helping me now that once it's been to Spain, is it, mate? Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah. Look, we're gonna end this conversation in a minute, yeah. But my question is to you guys. I feel like I'm Dave Letterman right now. No, my question is like, how do you know whether you're like paying attention to your kids or trying to take photos? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how do you differentiate between where's your boundaries with that? Go.
I think it's instinct, isn't it? Like if you're actually playing a game, or you I don't know, whatever, playing with them or something that physically stops you from taking pictures, or the fact if you go and try and take a picture, it's going to spoil the game or whatever it might be, then you just don't take pictures. But I think that's one huge thing, is having a camera that you don't need to put to your eye makes a big difference, because it doesn't create that barrier. But you just, for me, I just have the camera lying around, and if I feel like I want to take a picture, I pick it up and take a picture. If not, I don't. But it's just instinct. It's just instinct. And but it's like anything. Like my wife she wants me to take pictures, because she's the one that gets most annoyed at the end of the year when she's like, we haven't got any pictures of this year. We haven't got any pictures of their birthdays or this trip we went on or whatever it might be. She wants the pictures, and the kids are not that bothered, to be honest with you. Sometimes they might go, stop taking pictures, but I don't know. It's just instinct. But I just genuinely think that if you want to take more pictures of your life, and I do, like I definitely next year want a lot more pictures of my life. And it's not just your kids. Like I want a lot more pictures of my life in general. Like when I meet up with you guys, I'd like to just have the camera there and take some pictures of that. And if we go on holiday to Seville again, I'll recreate everything that happened on that trip.
Don't crush it in the car boot.
Just for you and your mum.
Cheers, mate.
But it's not just taking pictures. It's not just taking pictures of your kids. I just think I'd like to take more pictures of my life in general. Like even when we go to the gathering, I'd like to bring my own camera, not to shoot the gathering, just to shoot some pictures from my own memories and from my own perspective. You know, just these things that I do throughout the year. I'd like to have like photos to remember them by. So it's not just your kids. I think just having your camera with you. And Ben Chrisman said this, right? He's probably the most photographer I've ever met, and it was almost like the first thing he taught when he came and spoke at the gathering was just like, always have your camera with you, ready to take pictures. Yeah. And in 5 years later, I'm still not doing it.
Yeah, he bought a camera, and it was like a month old or something. And then we met him in Romania. I did a workshop with him, and I was like, how many photos have you taken on that camera? He's like, oh yeah, just like 50,000. And I was like, what? Within 2 months? I was like, crazy. Like, always has his camera on him.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I want to try That's the key. That is the key. Whether you've got it around your neck or whether it's just like a foot away or something. I think the key is just not having it zipped up in your camera bag in the corner of a room you never go in, you know? And yeah, like little things like...
Yeah, and to be fair, that's a good point, because the more it's out, the less it's a big deal to use it. Do you know what I mean? It's just there, so you know it's there. So it's not it becomes less of an event when you start taking the pictures, and when it becomes less of an event when you're making the pictures, then
totally.
It becomes less of an event, so you can do it more easily, and it's less of an event. So yeah.
Like anything as well. I can't remember. I think it's a photographer called Matt Long, who you guys know and good friend of ours. Mm-hmm. He even shoots everything, even though he doesn't do it for weddings. He'll shoot all his personal pictures in JPEG, so that there's not even like the bottleneck of having to edit them.
Yeah, that's another good idea, to be fair, because that's editing them just a total pain in the ass. Even though the JPEGs are going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, I shoot everything in RAW, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, me too. But I'm just saying, like, that anything that stands in your way of taking more pictures in your life, like, remove as many barriers as you possibly can. Whether that's, like you say, having a memory card that's just for family photos. So when you get home from a wedding, you take your camera out, you put your family photo memory card in, and you just put your camera in your living room or your kitchen, wherever. And if it annoys you or you lose pictures because you've put them in a RAW file folder and you delete the folder by mistake, then shoot in JPEG and just to have them ready straight out of camera. Just make it easier. But
good
use your phone more.
That's a good talk. I like it.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Guys, I've actually made notes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I've made some notes.
What did they say?
Shoot JPEG.
Don't invite Adam to Spain.
Next time, take your mum next time.
Take my mum, I will.
Anyway, guys, Merry Christmas. Yeah. And hope over the next week before we speak again, hope you'll be taking lots more pictures of your life, and that's your homework, and there'll be a test next time.
Okay, my dog might have eaten it, so.
See you soon, dudes.
Take it easy.
Bye,
world.
1, 2, 3. Listen.
You can listen to previous episodes of the DotCast anywhere people normally listen to podcasts, and you can find out more about NineDots membership and the NineDots gathering at nine-dots.co.